The computer is a universally solid tool for learning. Anyone can learn using a computer, whether they are deaf or even blind. Whenever you see someone using a computer, you know they could possibly be learning in a number of ways. They could be learning by listening to an audiobook, typing a paper, reading an article, demonstrating how to do something through video chat, or even drawing a picture. Computers are so helpful because they emphasize the 4 primary learning styles: auditory, visual, kinesthetic, and read-write. Auditory learners learn best by hearing things. Visual learners learn by seeing and imagining. Kinesthetic learners learn by doing. Read-write learners learn by reading and writing. Beginning in the 1980s, the computer revolution shifted and improved how everyone learns according to these 4 primary learning styles. As time has progressed, the availability to learn using any of the learning styles has significantly revolutionized our paradigm of pedagogy in a positive way. The computer revolution began in the 1940s. However, the effects were noticed mainly in the 1980s. The first invention that actually gave hope that computers would be able to use by any ordinary person came with the invention of the semiconductor in 1947. Before that, computers ran using vacuum tubes. In the same year, 1947, the transistor was invented. The next invention that sparked interest in computers was a silicon chip. For about 20 years, computers were too big for personal use. Small inventions such as the semiconductor, the transistor, and the silicon chip were the essentials of what a computer would come to be. The Apple II was the first computer to become pre-assembled for home use, and because of it, a wider range of people were able to use computers. Before the actual use of computers, learning was very different. To do something as simple as projecting a worksheet to the class, a teacher would have to create a transparency. Next, they have to wheel in an overhead projector, granted that the school had one and that it worked. Show a video, the teacher would have to go to a nearby library or store to get the video. After that, they have to wheel in a TV or VCR to show on a screen that was hard for students to view. In the 1980s, the capabilities of computers began to increase with the creation of Intel's processor chip. Motorola also released a chip which was able to do 17 million instructions per second. The Macintosh, the first successful computer, was released in 1984.
Introducing Macintosh. It does all the things you'd expect a personal computer to do. It does a lot of things you wouldn't expect a personal computer to do. Of course, to do all this, you will have to learn to do this. Macintosh, the computer for the rest of us.
It pioneered by being driven with a mouse and boasted a graphic user interface. Intel also released the Pentium this year. It not only allowed programs to run faster, but it also allowed several instructions to be run at the same time. In 2003, Windows XP was introduced by Microsoft as an operating system for personal computers. The use of the computer was changed into something a lot easier to use and to look at. In 1989, the World Wide Web was proposed. It was officially born in 1990 when Tim Berners-Lee, a researcher at CERN, developed hypertext markup language, HTML. This networking language allowed the internet to become what it is today. Users can now enter a search query and out come thousands of results. Possibilities are now endless. Visual and auditory learners can now effortlessly go on YouTube and learn something they've been struggling to grasp for years. Visual learners can learn massive amounts of information from a widely available database of pictures on Google Images. Not only that, but visual learners can also view timelines, flowcharts, diagrams, etc. Learning for the kinesthetic also suddenly became easier with computers. They can find simulations to perform to help them learn. When kinesthetic learners perform something, they will understand it better, and computers give them more chances to act situations out, creating a more entertaining educational experience, as well as understanding information better. Children are able to play on many computers, leapfrog systems that allow students to interact and learn without even realizing that they are. For read-write learners, the internet is an educational paradise. With a computer and internet access, read-write learners can browse billions of scholarly articles with the assistance of Google Scholar at no charge. At any time, they can stimulate their minds with a few pages of reading. This makes the learning experience exciting, interesting, and economic. Teachers have always accommodated to read-write learners and auditory learners with textbooks and lectures. The problem with textbooks is that they are heavy to carry. Another weakness of fast learning is that professors sometimes speak too fast and have accents, making it difficult for auditory learners. Computers have addressed and solved problems. With the invention of microcomputers, hundreds of pages of textbooks can be carried in a device that weighs under a pound. This has made learning for the read-write learners easier. Learning for all four learning styles are not only more available, but more efficient and effective.
The benefits of the increase in technology have really helped the students. It gives students access to information on a 24/7, 365 basis. They don't have to come to class to get the information from the professor, which changes the professor's role from a disseminator of information, i.e. a public speaker, to actually someone who's more of a tour guide, who's a coach, who points out highlights, key road signs along the way, tries to share with students some practical experiences, the spirit of the thing, give them practical advice, help them with particular projects and problems, and essentially manage the assignments of the course. So the role of the instructor out of this technological shift changes dramatically.
Students can find more ways to obtain information if they aren't able to listen to a lecture and learn the required information presented. For example, Khan Academy, which is a website where a very educated man, Solomon Khan, uses the tools of the internet to create video tutorials and give students a chance to succeed in any class.
The Khan Academy is most known for what's now about 1,000 videos on YouTube. It starts literally at 1 + 1 = 2, and it goes all the way up to the college level, calculus and physics. Everything is in these very short, encapsulated videos, one concept at a time. It's really reached far more students than I could have ever imagined. Right now there are about 1,000 videos. I started recording them about 3 years ago. Now I'm doing it full time. I'm hoping to be able to put out a couple hundred videos a year. I see a world where literally anyone with access to a computer and the internet will be able to go to the Khan Academy and get a world-class education. It'll be the world's free virtual school.
Solomon Khan found a way for every learning style to actually learn and presented it in a way where it is extremely effective. As a result of the computer revolution, every area of learning has improved and become more engaging. Khan Academy is one example that learning for everyone has been enriched. Not only can all the learning styles actually learn, but this attainment has spread through every subject of education. In learning languages, it is primarily evident. For example, the computer program Rosetta Stone is a great way to improve your specific language vocabulary quickly.
Even as adults, we still have the natural ability we were born with to learn how to understand and use language without translating, memorizing, or learning rules of grammar. Intuitively, in what's called an immersion environment.
With Rosetta Stone simplifying the way to expand someone's vocabulary in a foreign language, that made life easier for 65% of the world, and that's why computers have revolutionized pedagogy. For most people, learning used to be a boorish activity and didn't yield many results. Because of the computer revolution, the act of expanding knowledge has become unequivocal. Retrieving and understanding any information is now easy, and the information presented is palpable for anyone with any learning style. Everyone is becoming smarter because everyone is able to learn deeper information now. This arouses the question of what new product will come out and make learning even freer for the small population who still finds it difficult to learn, and the question of how educated someone can be. Possibilities are now endless. The upbringing of computers agitated a new sector in pedagogy where everyone can learn no matter what their learning style, and does so in a ravishing way. The onset of computers has brought upon new ideals in pedagogy. This is essential because these ideas are what are controlling our children's, and their children's learning throughout their lives. Computers are the gateway to our future education.